Hey guys, this is Rishabh here with your Manchester United update. As you know, we won 1-0 against Watford the other day, and yeah, with a Scott McTominay goal. And now we look forward to the game against Burnley. So, yeah, let's see. So, Solskjaer's challenge. What does Solskjaer have to say? When discussing why he'd made 9 changes for his tie, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer laid out a challenge to those players who had been desperate for more minutes at United. Of course, Solskjaer talking about the Watford game, where he gave a chance to Jesse Lingard, where he gave a chance to um, Van de Beek. Van de Beek started for the first time in I don't know how many. Van de Beek started for the first time in a long, long time. He had a great little 1-2 with Mata, which Mata couldn't unfortunately finish off. Um, Igalo was in the squad, but Igalo didn't get a chance. Mason Greenwood started, Daniel James started, Tuanzebe started, uh, Eric Bailly was taken off at 45 minutes to be replaced by Maguire. But yeah, so in total 9 changes, telling them this was their opportunity to stake a claim and prove he's been wrong to keep them sidelined. It's always hard to look good when you come into a team full of changes, but this will have to go down as a missed opportunity for a number of United players. It particularly failed to click to a it particularly failed to click in attack when there was a lack of fluency all night. Mason Greenwood couldn't get into the game as a centre forward, where Daniel James started brightly but fizzled out. I saw a shot by Daniel James. Daniel James looks like the guy that needs to hold his thought for just one moment. Do you know what I mean? Uh, he instinctively does things which is good, but if he were to just hold on for 1 minute and think of another angle, as in he takes the most obvious shot or he gives the most obvious pass. If he was to just for 1 second hold on to the ball and think, okay, let me not do the most obvious thing in the world. What's there to do apart from the most obvious thing? Yeah, but this is not a rant on Daniel James, so we'll move forward. It said a lot that Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford were called for with a quarter game to go. I saw yesterday Tony Martial had 23 goals last season, and he's nowhere close to the 23 goals. I think he has two or three. I can look it up, but I think he has 2 or 3 goals, which is not much. Rashford had a good season last season. He had 20 plus goals. Rashford is well on his way to having a 20 plus goal season. Bruno Fernandes, I think, had 15 goals and he has 12 goals this season. Pogba's a real waste of money. I really feel that 100 million. Anyway, going back into the past doesn't solve anything. But I just think he's too privileged. He's too entitled, and anyone who's too privileged and too entitled, they don't go anywhere because you have to prove yourself every day. That's right. Even everyone, like anyone, like me, anybody else, everyone has to prove themselves. Just because you won the World Cup with France and you did something with Juventus doesn't mean that that's gonna last every day. Cristiano doesn't think that, oh, I won so much at Real Madrid that means that at Juventus I can just sleep off. Or he didn't think that at United he won the treble. Did he win the treble? No, no. So he won the Champions League and the league in 2008 2009. Yeah, or one of those seasons 7 8, that at Real Madrid he would not have to do anything. Uh, so you got to prove yourself every day, and I don't know what his agent is feeding him, but that's not a good practice. His value is going to go down. If he wants his value to go up, his agent should tell him to fight for a place in United. Although that might not be the thing that Pogba wants to hear, because Pogba thinks he's entitled to be the darling of any team, and he should be in a better team, and he should be at Real Madrid. balls. He's not even gonna start. Look at what happened to Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard was a regular starter at Chelsea, but what happened is after he went to Real Madrid, he scored I think 2 or 3 goals at Real Madrid. So it's not like it's more about how committed you are on a daily basis than what the team is about. It's you look at Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has been working in and out. Last season they finished four. This season he's been right up there, scoring, assisting, scoring, assisting, scoring, assisting, scoring. He doesn't take it lightly. He doesn't see that, oh, okay, the team's in this joint first or the second position. That means I got to take it lightly. He wants to play every game. And that's how it should be. You are a professional footballer. This is what you do. Imagine a guy who is a imagine a guy who's a cricketer and he says like, oh, okay, for example, I come from India. For example, if Sachin said that, oh, okay, I've hit so many centuries, which is a good thing, like a hat trick or something. It's a good noble thing. And then next game he's like, no, 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 just because of the last game I'm not gonna do it, or just because I won the World Cup in 2011 I'm not gonna do anything in the next. That's not how it works. Each and every day you gotta perform. Each and every day you gotta perform. Each and every day you gotta perform. And Pogba's sort of taken that for granted. And now I don't want to go with this and make this a Pogba rant. But sometimes I do think that imagine if Pogba was at full force, or even if he was like at 50%, the pairing of Van de Beek on the left, Pogba on the right, and then Bruno Fernandes on the right. I mean, now Pogba plays a more forward role, but the whole idea was that that could be a really great midfield with Marshall, Rashford, and Mason on the top. And the second thing is, in this season, both Marshall and Rashford are not scoring. So, it's not sure. I mean, not sure whether to take it as in a positive sense or in a negative sense. Because the positive sense is, if and when they do come into form, then we are the United is in good hands. But if they don't, I guess right now the major scorers are Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Uh, with Cavani chipping in with a few goals, but not really. Um, not really a lot. Scott McTominay doing a good job. Yeah, in that Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Donny van der Beek. I forgot Scott McTominay and Fred and Matic and Mata. Yeah, so let's look at the next game. Of course, if this is to be Jesse Lingard's final United appearance, it was a suitably mediocre display. Jesse Lingard started off with really good with when he was linking up with Paul Pogba, and there was Ibrahimovic in the team, and Jesse Lingard had he scored in the FA Cup final, if I'm not wrong, or semi-final, one of the crucial goals. Yeah. So, but then from that point, he's 28 years old now. He's gonna. It would be time for him to play regular games. Um, so yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It said a lot about Martial and Rashford were called on for with a quarter of the game to go. I would have called on Igalo. I don't know. I mean, of course, I'm not the manager. I'm not privy to all, and I don't have access to all the details that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has, and what he thought. But I would have started even in the FA Cup semi-final game against City. I would have got Donny van de Beek on starting. I would have gone Igalo. I would have gone Daniel James. I don't really like Daniel James, but I would have gone with a team thinking that we are going to lose, because City have won it for the last 3 or 4 years. United have already lost three out of the four, all three semi-finals up to that point. But of course, retrospectively thinking, everything seems bad, and if all he had won, then everyone would be like, all is a genius, all is a genius. But that's fine. Aaron Van Bissaka, but yeah, I would have definitely made more changes because you got a really good side, and we'll come to the bench strength in a minute as we talk about Burnley and some of the problems that they are having. So Aaron Van Bissaka and Luke Shaw will probably be sleeping easy as well, with Brandon Williams and Alex Telles not making the most of the chances at fullback. Alex Telles had a good cross. Alex Telles crossed the ball, which Scott McTominay put in. But yeah, breaking into this United side is a hard challenge anyway right now, and it would have taken some sensational performances to change Solskjaer's thinking from the Premier League games this week. But all this unconvincing victory was cement his own thoughts over his strongest 11. McTominay starts brightly. The big Scott. Scott McTominay is Mr. Reliable in this United squad, and his elevation to captain. He was made the captain against Watford and was just rewards for his unstinting devotion to the cause and his ability to continuously raise his game. So Scott McTominay, I saw he had 5 goals last season. He has 4 goals this season. A couple of them against Leeds, of course, and we have a few more games to go. So, um, yeah, he's been a good asset to United team. He's become a fixture as a deep midfielder at United, where he's always had an eye for a goal, having played as a striker in the academy, and his tally of 4 goals this season now matches Edison Cavani. Edinson Cavani got a suspension, and now he is available for the game at Burnley, which people think that he will feature for Edinson Cavani. I think he's a good striker. He has a lot to prove. Unfortunately, United, I was looking at this. United are obviously out of the Champions League and the FA Cup now. And on one side, people are sort of happy with the joint first position and the chance to go first if we get a point against Burnley. But now the options are narrow because yes, you have the EFL Cup, you have the Europa League draw, where of course Real Sociedad is doing really good in the Spanish Premier Liga. But Champions League is really how United was measured all those years back. Of course, in the Fergie era, it's been 8 years since the Fergie era. People talk about the Fergie era as if it was yesterday, but it's not that. The Fergie era is, of course, long gone. Fergie era is long gone. It's been 8 years since Ferguson left, and it's been 8 years since you had a title. I lost so much hair because of that. But yeah, that's a joke. That's not true. I have yeah. Yeah, moving on. He's become a fixture as a deep midfielder at United, but he's always had an eye for a goal, having played as a striker in the academy. And his 4 goals matches Edinson Cavani. McTominay always had a habit of striking early. 7 of his 11 goals for the club have come inside the first 21 minutes of games and 10 inside the first half. So he's a first half guy, so you can take him off in the second half. And that may well be a coincidence, but it could also speak to his ability to be on his game from minute one, just as he was in the win against Leeds United last month, when he scored 2 early goals to set the tone for a thrilling game. Solskjaer knows he can rely on McTominay, and the academy graduate is becoming the man for the early start as well. As if to prove his reliability, he dropped into centre back when Eric Bailly was being treated and made two decisive interceptions during his brief spell in that role. This is what I'm talking about. If Paul Pogba had half the determination of McTominay, he would be a regular starter first of all. But it's like saying that that's not possible. Scott McTominay cannot do what Pogba can do, and Pogba cannot do what Scott McTominay can do. Of course, you would like to mix and match both of them and get like an average of them. But that's of Because that's not in a hoping is one thing, but what's reality? I just wish the Pogba thing ends and Donny van de Beek gets a chance in the Europa League. I do expect Donny van de Beek, Daniel James. If Lingard is there, Lingard. We have Pelistri who has got added, and then Ahmad Diallo. Ahmad Diallo is a good striker. I was seeing yesterday. Of course, he's not scored a lot or even started for Atlanta regularly because I saw just 6 games for Atlanta and 1 goal for Ahmad Diallo. But so I'm not sure whether Ahmad Diallo is going to be a regular starter for United. Just like Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek came in, and this is, I believe he came in the summer transfer window. So it's been 4 or 5 months since he's not got a regular chance. I was reading a statistic that out of the 90 hours or so, he has just 90 hours. Has United played 90 games? Or not 90 games? 60 games till now? I don't think so. There's some statistic, ridiculous statistic, where he has only played 13 out of the 90 hours. Just use this as a pointer, don't quote me on this. So he's, of course, everyone knows Donny van de Beek's not starting a lot, and he is he got a start in the Watford game. But I really do believe that in some games, in the non-league games, all he has to just go for it. I mean, he's gonna say, "What's the worst thing that can happen?" As it is in they lost against City, and sometimes you just gotta let go. I mean, I was thinking yesterday night that there's Ollie should go all in for the youngsters, just like Sir Alex Ferguson did in some of the games. For example, he should go all academy players. No Pogba, no Bruno Fernandes, even no Martial, just raw 16, 17 years old people just going at it and see what happens. I mean, of course, if you just look at the United Watford thing, it felt like the players were tired. They're feeling entitled. They thought that, oh, we have to play one more game. If, as opposed to that, if you have people who are more inclined, who are more excited, who are more if you put in 16 years old, they've not played Watford. Of course, they're gonna make a few mistakes. You see the Liverpool against Aston Villa game. Aston Villa played with 16, 17-year olds, 13, 14. Yeah, as a marker, they played with very young people, and they did score a goal, right? If you're playing against Liverpool, the odds are you're not going to lose. Of course, they had a COVID situation, and that's why they made the replacement. But I would really love, for example, in the next game in the fourth round against in the EFL Cup, if Oli is adds 2 to 3 more youngsters, it would mean a lot for them. Firstly, it would mean a lot for them, and also it would give a good change and a good rest to all these guys, Rashford and Martial. It would also give them time to think what they're doing. Pogba doesn't need more time. Pogba has had a lot of time. I don't know what's the future of Pogba gonna be. I think it's gonna go downhill from United. I'm gonna make a bold prediction that it's gonna go downhill from United because, yeah, I think United at this point is gonna be the best thing for him, and from his next contract, he's gonna go to a lower team. Of course, he might get more money. I don't know if he gets more money because he's not really performed for the last 2 years. A cricketing analogy would be like Saurav Ganguly. Saurav Ganguly, for the last 2 years of his captaincy, last 3 years, didn't play at all. At all, at all, at all. Paul Pogba is now the Saurav Ganguly of United, where he doesn't want to play and he still wants to earn. And of course, Ganguly was not playing, and still he was the captain, and he had a big ego. And but that was a different time in Indian cricket. Uh, he has a strong presence. Henderson, of course, is a great, great asset. DDG and Henderson, United are blessed to have two keepers who are really, really awesome. But of course, defense doesn't win you game. Defense wins you game. Defense wins you seasons. But you have to win a game. You have to score. No, of course, no, but Henderson has done a great job. Um, he has strong presence in the club, but he needs to be faultless to challenge David. Yeah, I think Dean Henderson. I saw um, one move where Henderson came out and attacked the play outside the box. DDG would never do that, or at least I think from what I've seen, DDG would never do something of that sort. And depends. I prefer Henderson, and but yeah, I do think DDG. I'm not sure who's at Real Madrid right now. Uh, I should know this, but anyway, yeah, DDG can go anywhere he wants. Yeah, Bai's misfortune. Bai's had a good run, but that's the thing about Eric Bai. Eric Bai is, some people say, the best defender that we have, but he's like that. He's like that unpredictable thing. He's like Pogba, but his attitude is not questionable. His actually his attitude is one of the best. If Pogba had Bai's attitude, oh, I would say United bring on 21. Yeah, that's not happening though. Bringing on 21 is not happening. I know this season most likely, I don't know, maybe second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Nah, I don't know. But Liverpool just too strong. And you see the fixtures. I was looking at the fixtures. You got to play Liverpool, you got to play City, you got to play Chelsea. All these teams look so tough now. And United's not been in this position of being number one or number two now. Of course, they were number two with Jose Mourinho, but Jose Mourinho, this was 19 or 16 points off the first team, and it was not really a title challenge. I think with Van Gaal, we were just 6 points behind, but we were third, so that's much closer to the top. But of course, let's look at the next game. By his misfortune, Eric Bailly's recent run of four successive starts was his most regular run of action in the United team since September 2017. And for a player who has his fair share of bad luck on the injury front, it was beginning to feel a little too good to be true. Yeah, it was feeling a little too good to be true. There's a theory that Bai is a little brittle, that injuries come too easily to him, and he often has a habit of making rash decisions that can contribute to his demise. But as if to sum up the bad luck that has plagued him this time, the injury that forced him off late in the first half was inflicted by a teammate. Yeah, he ran into Henderson. Henderson's knee was out to protect the goalkeeper, but he only ended up impacting on Bai's neck, and the centre back looked groggy. He wanted to return to action, but medics took the correct decision to signal his night was over, and Harry Maguire came on. Until then, he had put in another assured display, looking more composed and comfortable than Alex Tuanzebe. Hopefully, this was a minor setback in his return to prominence in the squad. Yup, Igalo's farewell tour. Yeah, I would have played Igalo. This season has been one to forget for Odion Igalo. The arrival of Edison Cavani has dropped him further down the order at United, and while extending his loan deal at the end of the last season was wise, it was inevitable that a new signing would make him surplus to requirements now. He's just made 2 of 16 matchday squads in the Premier League, and he's played just 1 minute since September as United desperately sought to turn around the defeat to PSG at Old Trafford. The striker probably felt his third round tie was his chance of was his chance of a fair fond farewell, but United's failure to kill uh, but United's But United's failure to kill the game off and the need to call on Martial and Rashford dashed those hopes. But while Igalo's departure will be low key, the 31-year-old's impact last February and March shouldn't be forgotten. He scored 5 goals in his first 4 starts for the club, the last of them a stunning strike against LASK in what had been a difficult season until then. The boyhood United fan made it look like fun to play for the club again. Some things the fans appreciate. Of course, we appreciated it, and of course, it was. Yep. So yeah, looking forward to the game at Burnley. Yeah, Bai having to come off just before halftime after being clattered by his own keeper Henderson, so Bai is a doubt. And then the mouth-watering clash against champions Liverpool as United go to the aim to go to the top of the Premier League table. Speaking after the cup triumph, United about Ozil Solskjaer said his head is fine. There is no concussion or anything like that. But we have got to do scans. The player himself also got moved to reassure fans as he tweeted. As he tweeted. I am okay. It was just a knock, and his center of partner for the only and his center of partner for the victory. Tuanzebe is expected a quick recovery from the Warrior. Um, yep. Uh, it was it was crazy when you think that Fred and Bruno Fernandes both had the same transfer fee for 47 million. Of course, Fernandes was brought from Sporting, whereas Fred was bought from Donetsk. Of course, Fred is a regular starter, and yeah, Donny van de Beek is not far back, 39 million. Um, but yeah, it's good to see that he'll be alright by 26, who's replaced by club captain Hogar. Ivory Coast centre half has been in fine form in recent weeks, having bagged the spot next to Maguire ahead of Victor Lindelof, and former Red Devil Rio Ferdinand is hoping by his back to marshal the defense. Yep. So let's have a look at Burnley. Burnley have accepted, and this is a couple of days old news, but are set to play Burnley on Jan 12th in the Premier League, and Sean Dyche has confirmed that the club has been impacted by COVID 19. Burnley manager Sean Dyche confirmed that the club has been impacted by positive COVID 19 tests ahead of the clash with United next week. Speaking prior to the Clarets FA Cup tie with MK Dons this weekend, Dyche confirmed that there has been a couple of positive tests within the club. United are set to play Burnley on Tuesday in a game which was originally scheduled for the opening weekend but was pushed back in order to give Solskjaer's side extra rest following their run to the Europa League semi-final in the previous. A win at Turf Moor would see United go 3 points ahead of Liverpool in the Premier League just a few days before the two teams face off. There is no suggestion as of yet that the game will have to be postponed again, with Daesh believing that the club will, for the moment at least, be able to fulfill the coming weekend's fixture. We've got a couple of cases that will affect us. We have some at the moment, and we are happy. We are having to be wise and report the players. The worry for us across the sport is the knock on effect. We have a couple of cases which would affect us. It's a tough challenge for us. We've asked the FA tie. When asked if the FA tie was in doubt, he said, I think we will be fulfilling it. We will be able to go beyond 14 certainly today. But I'm not sure. Yep, and we have an update. I believe it's for today. United have three new injury problems ahead of Burnley. Pogba, Lindelof, and Shaw all due to injury, and Eric Bag was also taken off. Pogba and company injured. Solskjaer says Pogba, Shaw, and Lindelof are all injured. Press conference presser before the Burnley thing. Manchester United scraped through the third round FA Cup tie with Watford by a goal to nil on Saturday. Solskjaer opted to field a heavily changed side. Yep. With by concussion, by incident, and yeah, those are the only three things. So, what do you think is the predicted United 11? You tell me, guys. For me, it would be. Let me just pull it up. If I can pull it up, my team here. It would be DDG and then Aaron Van Bissaka. Aaron Van Bissaka, and then we have. I would actually go for Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof, and So see, this is the tie that we have against Burnley. We can go on the top. I would go with Lindelof and Maguire, and then Shaw on the left. In the middle, I would go for Donny van de Beek, and I would actually go for Mata on the top. I would go for Mason Greenwood on the top, and I would go for Daniel James on the top. And in the midfield, I would go for Donny van de Beek, I would go for Fred, I would go for Scott, and yeah, that's it. I can bring on, of course, the man Bruno Fernandes, and yeah, Daniel, Donny van de Beek, Fred, and Scott looks like an interesting pairing. Uh, it's a 4-3-3 with Mata, Mason Greenwood, and Daniel James on the top. I'm not sure if they will go with this. For sure, either they will have Rashford or Marshall on the top, and Bruno Fernandes and or Pogba in the middle with Nemanja Matic also in the face. So they've got a couple of options, but this is my 11. I would love to go with this. And for the score prediction, I think it's gonna be. Guys, you guys can subscribe to the channel. I'll put a link below here, and if the link's not there, you could just subscribe. uh, yeah, I think the score is gonna be 1-1, or let's go for a 2-1 United win. I think Burnley, they have a lot of COVID cases, and that's why I'm going for this team, because I think they will not be at their major strength, and we can try out a few different things here and there. We've played a few games before, and we were playing. Solskjaer said that it is the first time that they were playing two midweek games in the same week. So yeah, let's go for this. And guys, thank you for watching this, and look forward to your continued support.